What movies do you always recommend watching? Harry Potter. It is an amazing story about friendship, growing up and fighting evil. Shrek. It is a bold and breathtaking foray into the realm of fairy tales, where every twist and turn surprises and delights with its audacity. The opening scene in the toilet sets the funny tone for the entire film. 12 Angry Men. The film is over 60 years old and it still holds up so well. 12 Angry Men is just an excellent run-through of how to argue and the usefulness of contrarianism. Shawshank Redemption. This is honestly one of the best films ever made. Nothing is perfect, but if can't feel something watching this movie, you probably can't feel anything at all. I hope to see my friend and shake his hand. I hope that the Pacific is as blue as it has been in my dreams. I hope. Your like and subscription will really help my channel. Blade Runner. The plot is very good, and as soon as I saw the cyberpunk style of the future, I was immediately captivated by the film. One of the only 80s movies to get a great sequel in the 21st century. Back to the Future. Anyone who has watched these movies has their favorite moments. They funny, creative, entertaining, and have one of my favorite movie scores of all time. Your Name. Beautiful animation, great story, and an amazing soundtrack. It'll be my favorite movie for a long time. I've never really watched any anime before. Not because I don't like it, but just because I never have time to really get into it. One day I was hanging out with a friend, and he showed me Your Name, and holy moly did I cry several times. The movie is fantastic, and I highly recommend it to everyone, no matter your interests. The Matrix. Hands down my favorite movie, something I always tell people to watch. My favorite movie of all time. It has everything I love. Martial arts, philosophy, cinematography, and special effects. It was groundbreaking. The Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal Lecter is one of the greatest fictional characters ever created. When I was 12, my friend and I watched that because it said it had nudity, and we thought we were gonna see explicit moments. Dude, we got fooled. Emperor's New Groove, easily the best movie Pixar has ever produced, not to mention the spectacular jokes. Every character is amazing, and I will recommend this movie until the day I die. The Big Lebowski. I automatically know I'll get along with someone if they enjoy that movie. Wall-E. The first time I watched it, I didn't notice my audio was only plugged in halfway, so I still had sound, but it was all a bit distorted. When we got to the humans, I thought we couldn't understand them because we saw things from Wall-E's point of view or something. Despite basically missing a lot of the audio, I still thought it was an amazing movie. The Iron Giant. This movie shaped my childhood. I'm not crying. Don't look at me. My Cousin Vinny. A stone-cold classic, and Joe Pesci and Marisa Tomei's chemistry is brilliant. That was my dad's favorite movie, and he would watch it every time he could. For his last birthday before he passed, I bought it for him on DVD, and now every year on his birthday, I watch it and just laugh and cry, thinking about the times we had when I was young. It's such a good movie. Terminator 2, the rare sequel, is better than the original movie. You don't say affirmative or some stuff like that. You say no problemo. Groundhog Day. Just an amazing movie on how people can change for the better. Goodfellas. Every scene is flawless. It's the master at his best. I had a DVD with Goodfellas and Casino on it. Every sick day from school, I'd watch both. Kung Fu Panda. People always go into it with bafflingly low expectations, but it's a great film. Pulp Fiction. Tarantino is the master of dialogue. He's the only man who cannot have anything but two characters on screen, doing nothing but talking about complete bullshit and captivate you for 10 minutes. Coming to America. Yes, fuck you too. The Truman Show. It's such a well-crafted movie, just so many little details to catch on rewatches, like how he's told people are very sick when they need some vacation time, or how his doctor has him taking vitamin D because no sunlight in the dome. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Who are you who is so wise in the ways of science? Clue. Clue is the only movie based on a board game that worked. It's a premise that hasn't worked since, with a stellar comedic cast and great writing. Plus, it's infinitely quotable. I've seen Knives Out and think it's also a great movie. The acting and writing was very good. Yes, Knives Out was great. I was blown away by how good this movie was, and I wish there were more films done in this sort of classic whodunit style. The Prestige by Nolan. Truly underrated. Yes, everyone remembers Interstellar, but The Prestige and Memento are also brilliant films. Schindler's List. It's a powerful film. I originally read the book, Schindler's Ark, and was excited when I heard that Spielberg was making the film. But in the end, not many book adaptations have turned out as good as this one. The Fifth Element. I don't know why I love this movie, I just do. It's sci-fi and it's action, but realistic because the future isn't a utopia. The Mummy, Brendan Fraser. It's such a fun movie. Looks like you're on the wrong side of the river. Office Space. I enjoyed the silly humor and over-the-top soundtrack as a kid. Now I work in a sea of cubicles for a faceless corporation and can relate on every level. It's incredible how relevant everything about that type of job still is more than 20 years later. Good Will Hunting. Amazing story and chemistry between the characters. My husband and I just rewatched this a few weeks ago. It absolutely still holds up, and the soundtrack is amazing. Made me miss Robin Williams so much, though. The Dark Knight, the entire trilogy by Nolan. I was pissed when this came out. I thought, why? Took 5 years before I gave it a shot. Can't tell you how many times I've watched this trilogy. Fantastic. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I watched and cried. I never watched again. 10 out of 10 movie. Your like and subscription will really help my channel. Thanks a lot for the donations.